beautiful, welcome back to my channel. I am in a great mood today and I am gonna get ready because, am I too far up? Because I am actually heading to a surprise birthday party for one of the neighbors. Don't tell him, nobody tell him. Well, this is going up after his birthday has already been, so I'm super excited. I'm gonna get ready. I have a full face almost of new makeup. Some is first impressions, some is second impressions, some is oldies but goodies, and you have asked me a lot of really juicy questions about YouTube, about being a creator, about money. There's some really juicy questions in here and I'm gonna answer them while I get ready. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe before you leave because I do upload quite a lot of videos every week. When I did scratch myself here, I don't know what happened here. Ignore that part, ignore that part. I am going to be using the KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation, I think it's called. Full Coverage Serum Foundation. I have medium 045. This is my second impression, and there is a first impression up on like shorts, just me using the foundation. And I liked it, but I still needed to blot throughout the day. I only blotted once though, if I'm going to be honest. First impression, I like it, but I'm gonna try it with a mattifying primer to see if I can like it even more. I think I need to buy a new one of this. Like, it is like almost dried out. I think I need a new one. I really like this one, but it's almost dried out. This is the LH Cosmetics one, and I got a little oily on my chin. So I just wanted to have some here to see if we can like combat that. First question is, do you have a goal for your channel which if when you achieve it you would retire from YouTube? No. I used to have as a listen, when I started YouTube I was like, imagine if one day 1,000 people watch my videos. That's what I said when I started my YouTube. So as you can tell, I have grand plans for this channel, but no, I don't have any like goals or that for my channel. Eventually, when things started getting better with my channel, obviously I was thinking, what if I reach 100K one day? But the next milestone would be 1 million subscribers, and I know I'm never gonna reach 1 million subscribers, and I am totally fine with that. I like where I'm at, and if I were to never get more views than this, never grow more than where I'm at right now, I will be fully satisfied with the journey that I have done on YouTube. And the day where I no longer like YouTube, or the day where I find a career that fulfills me more or that I feel more excited about than YouTube, I will quit. I'm not in the place where I need to continue doing YouTube because this is my only source of income, and I'm like, this is my only source of income right now, but I still have a degree. And I like the job I had before YouTube as well. So if I ever need to go back to that, it wouldn't be the end of the world because I liked it. As you can tell, this foundation is very full coverage. Can we like... Did that help? A little bit. But we are gonna get back some dimension to the face with some bronzer and stuff. But it is very much full coverage. And it is a fairly good match to my skin, but of course, since it is so full coverage, it does look a little bit like a mask, but I'll try and fix that. Oh, and by the way, I am 39, so I do have a lot of fine lines, and I have a combo skin, so I do get a little oily here and around here, and that's why I wanted to try this with a mattifying primer. Let me see if I can get another question in here. I got a lot of questions asking about my planning. This one is, how do you organize your planning stages for each video? I have, not only do I have a notebook, but I also have kind of a folder. What I call it a folder? Yeah, I have a folder where I put ideas, and I put like, I make a little folder. I can show you a little bit like how I would do it in like a picture here so you can see. But I'll put different folders there of like stuff I would like to do basically. And if I find any ideas of stuff that I want to like bring up in the video, or if I find any inspo pictures, or if I find like anything that I would like to use in the video, I just put it in the folder, and eventually when I feel ready to do the video, or if I immediately know when I want to do the video, I'll put a date on the folder, and then that folder goes into my planning, and each week I start out with making sure that I have folders for all the videos that I want to do that week. This has worked out really good for me. I try, and this is the difference between me today and me when I started out YouTube. I'm playing the long haul. I will put down video ideas where I'm like, this will be fun during Vlogmas. And I will put it there in dead of like summer, and I will play the long game, and I will wait, and I will be planning, and I try to think like, what would I like to film come November? What would I like to film for summer? If I come up with a really good idea, like, oh, I would love to talk about Halloween makeup, or I find a twist of something for summer makeup, I will put that in there so that when that time comes, I know what to film. So I try to play the long game when it comes with planning. And I also have a hidden playlist on YouTube that I literally have named future ideas. If I see a creator do a really fun video and I'm like, oh, that's so inspirational, I would love to do something similar, or if I see a tag going around that I would like to film, I will put that in the playlist, and then eventually I'll film it. But just so that I have it saved somewhere, I feel like I had a crispy. Just so that I have it saved somewhere, so that when I eventually want to film it, it's there. Someone asked what filming equipment I use, what filming editing software I use. I have a video that is all about setting up my beauty room. I will leave that down below, and I also did put, simply because it is easy, an Amazon storefront where I put a lot of the things that I use in my video. I put it there simply because it is so easy to put it all in the same place and make it accessible for you. You know that I don't shop a lot from Amazon, but when it comes to stuff like this, it was actually kind of easy to find it. So I will put that down below in case you're interested in seeing the computer I have, and the lights that I'm using, and the camera that I have, and the lens that I have, and all of that, because I do get some questions about that sometimes. And also the video where I'm putting my beauty room together, if you want to see how everything looks like what I'm seeing right now. I use the Vegas Pro 15 editing software when I'm editing my videos, because I do not have a Mac computer, and I don't want to pay, my god, are they yard work now, really? And I don't want to pay the subscription for the Adobe one, so I have the Vegas Pro, and for me it works out really good. I think it's a fairly advanced program, but I just use the basic stuff. Listen, I'm a basic bitch when it comes to editing, but I will put that as well down below, and if I forget, remind me, and I will put everything in. I do try to put my description boxes as updated as possible. Okay, they're quiet now. I don't know if that means if they're coming back or not. I'm so sorry. The thing that you're hearing, I'm gonna be using one of these Half Magic Cheek Fluff Soft Blur blushes. I want to use the one that's a little pinky, pink mushroom. The thing that you're hearing is actually a chainsaw in the background, and they're trying to get rid of some of the branches and chopping them up to smaller pieces and transporting them away that fell down, and we had a lot of broken branches during the ice storm that was last week. This is what it looks like, and there's also a brush. That is a dog hair. There's also a brush in this collection. I got sent these as PR, and these are compostable, these packagings, and these are magnetized. So if you want to keep them in the packaging, you can. But if you want to put them in a magnetic palette and like put these in the compost, you can do that as well. And they're supposed to be a cream powder hybrid. Like you can see you can see that it looks like creamy. That's very interesting. Someone was asking me, this is when we're getting into the tea. Maybe TMI to share, but how much do you make on YouTube? I think a lot of people are, I'm sorry, it's the background noise again. I think a lot of people are naturally really curious. This is too light for me. Is it? No, it looks really flattering. I think a lot of people are naturally very interested in hearing how much people are making. And I think that people need to remember that not everyone makes the same, and not everyone with similar amount of subscribers or similar amount of views, or that has been here for a similar amount of time, make the same amount of money. And I think people get it, but like there can be a big discrepancy between how much money people make and also how you make your money. And I've said this before, I make the bulk of my money through AdSense. I want to pay my rent with views. I don't want to be a QVC. I don't want this channel to be about me selling you products so that I can pay my rent with affiliate money. Affiliate money is the cherry on top. If you buy stuff through my links, if you buy stuff through my code, I am forever grateful because that is money that I'm able to put away for a rainy day or save for my future home. I'm dreaming. Does this have a sheen to it? It might have a sheen to it. Doesn't that look like a little goldy sheen? I'm dreaming of the day when I am a homeowner. Like that is my ultimate goal. I want to be a homeowner. I am so far really enjoying this formula. You can just build and build and it's flawless. I like it. Okay, I like it. So I try to make my money through AdSense. Like the ads that you see on YouTube, the companies are paying my rent. I don't want you shopping to pay my rent. If you want to shop through my links, I am forever grateful, but it's an optional thing. I don't need to be selling you stuff to be able to pay my rent. I've had this Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter in Champagne Glow. I've had this since launch in my collection, but for some reason I never got around to trying it. But let's try it today. Oh, that is very glowy. This is more of a... This is also a very glowy highlighter like the Rare Beauty highlighter, but this is not as metallic and wet on the skin as that one. But I like this one a lot. Before I was on YouTube, I did work full-time at like, not a corporate job, but like I worked at a desk in 9 to 5 and I made pretty good money, but I do make more money in YouTube than I did at my old job. I do make more than triple, more, probably 5, maybe 6 times as much on YouTube than I did before. But I also realized that this is a short-term career. This is not for life. And I realized that the money that I'm making now, it's not sustainable. You're not always going to be able to do this for forever. At least I know I'm not. So I'm just trying to be smart with my choices so that I'm able to one day buy a home, save up for the down payment for a home, and just, I don't know, try to be smart with my financial decisions. I will say I'm happy that I am the age that I am. I'm 39, and that I didn't get into YouTube as like a 19-year-old and just blowing all my money on like Gucci, like trying to be a little smart. I really hope you're not hearing this background noise the way that I am, because it is so loud. This is the new Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Liner. I have it in, what do I have it in? Cinnamon Spice. Cinnamon Spice. Very creamy. Very creamy, really nice color. How long does it usually take you to edit a video? It depends on what kind of video it is. If it has a lot of B-roll, it takes me about 3 times as long as the video is. So if it's 20 minutes, it takes me 60 minutes to edit. If it is a video without a lot of B-roll, it usually doesn't take me that long. If the video is 20 minutes, it takes me 30 minutes. Oh! Why is that so opaque? I was gonna use this new About Face Cherry Pick Lip Butter. That is a lot of product that comes off on the lips. Okay. Oh my god, I started again. I'm so unlucky. This reminds me a lot about the Tarte one. It's a little bit more opaque than I thought it was gonna be. It smells delicious. It smells like a fruit salad. I didn't think it was gonna be this opaque, but here we are. Here we are. What do you think is the best way to grow a small channel without sacrificing integrity? I think the most important thing to remember is that your channel isn't worth anything without integrity, and that if you lose the trust of your subscribers, you are no longer worth anything in the influencing space, because then you're just another one of the creators that sold out their integrity for money. So I think that be honest, but don't be rude and don't be cruel. Because I think that that is how you gain respect in this community. by being honest, but also being kind and soft and inviting, and you can get success in this like community without being harsh and without being rude and without stepping over other people and without lying. I think those are the most important things. I'm actually going to be doing another look with these new palettes by Oden's Eye, because these are actually releasing the day that you're seeing this video on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day if you're celebrating, and if you're not, that's totally fine. For me, I celebrate love every single day. I know I'm the cheesy person. I'm going in with Orchid from this Flora Story palette, but these palettes are launching today. I will leave some info down below. I also have a dedicated video on these palettes. I just wanted to create something fun and colorful using all three of the palettes and not being too advanced. I'm gonna use the Pride shade. Somewhat, I got two questions. They're actually a little bit related to each other. One of them is, why did you stop reviewing smaller indie brands like Terra Moons, Shine by ST, etc.? And the other one is, how important is it for you to plan by the algorithm rules versus what you would prefer for your loyal watchers? And one of the reasons why I stopped reviewing really small indie brands is that it doesn't get the views that I need to be able to pay my rent and to be able to actually buy the stuff. Because not only do I need to be able to afford to buy the stuff from the smaller indie brands, I also need to be able to pay rent. And the bigger scope of YouTube, I'm not talking about necessarily maybe you, but the bigger scope of YouTube, they're not super interested in these smaller indie brands with single shadows, that you like build your own palettes in magnet. That most of my viewers are not super interested in that. So it doesn't cover the expense of buying the products and also taxes, and then hopefully in the end, rent. I needed to cover all of that. But in the end, sometimes I really love a release from a smaller brand, and even though I know this isn't gonna be like enough for me to put a day's work into this, put it up on YouTube and like make it worth my while, because working on an indie release takes just as long as working on any other release. Like you put in the time. So instead I try to put them in maybe a Get Ready With Me, or maybe I'll do something else that I still can like feature it in a way, because at the end of the day, I want to buy the stuff that I think are fun, and I'm never buying anything just for the views if I think I'm not gonna like it. There's enough fun makeup out there so that I can choose the things that I think are fun and will pay the rent. I don't have to pick makeup that I don't like, because there's so much to choose from. And it is the same with video ideas. I have a million ideas for videos at all times. So I don't have to be like, oh no, now I have to do this video that I don't want to do just to be able to pay rent. No, I'm very lucky in that I actually like the videos that I do. So instead, if I have one video that is like, this video is fun, but it's not going to be able to pay rent. This video is fun and it will be able to pay rent. Listen, it's the same with you. If you came into your job and your boss told you, you have two jobs that you can do today. This one that is within your job description that will not give you a salary, and this one that is within your job description that will give you a salary. Which one would you pick? Of course you would pick the one where you would be able to pay rent. Like, we all do that. And I also sometimes get comments that are like, why are you not supporting small businesses? And blah, like, I'm buying from small businesses all the time, but it's not my job to do marketing for brands. I don't work for them and they don't work for me. Our work is not depending on each other. And if they need people to work for them without getting paid, maybe their products aren't good enough. They need to hype themselves up. They need to build their brand on their own so that they become so hyped that bigger and bigger and bigger influencers want to talk about them. There are plenty of brands out there that started out super small and that now are at the point where really big influencers, and I'm talking like Manny, Laura Lee, Jackie Aina, like bigger influencers are talking about them because the brand was successful in their marketing and in their products, so that they were able to build themselves up to a point where it makes sense for creators to talk about them. I don't work for these brands. I understand that like people probably think that, oh, I should be supporting them and I should be making content about their products, but like that's not my job. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm gonna do the videos that I think are fun and that pay my rent, and then they're gonna do the products that they think are fun and they're gonna pay their rent. And if that collides, if our interests collide along the way, that's amazing. But maybe I sound harsh by saying this, but I think that sometimes people like, I do this because it's fun. I don't pick products that I don't like to review because they're gonna make me money. I pick products that I like, and I can't review everything, so sometimes I don't end up picking up something because I don't think that the bigger bulk of my audience is interested in seeing it. That's just how it is. I'm just putting on a little bit more of this darker purple now at the end here. I'm gonna do these colors under my eyes as well, but isn't this looking so cute together? Ugh, I love it. Oh my, this is literally an hour later. As you can tell, one of the files where I did my lid color, it got corrupted. I'm so sad. I'm so sad that it disappeared. Let me tell you which shade I used, because I used one of the shades from the Sea Talk palette by Nomad Beauty. It is the one called Iridescent Shell, and it is this beautiful pink to blue duochrome. I just put that all over my lid, and I don't know which question I was answering in the corrupted file that disappeared. I'm so sad that it went away. I'm sorry. So if one of your questions didn't make it, it might have been in the corrupted file, but I just wanted to let you know why I'm coming back all of a sudden and like my makeup is looking so completed. It's because the file got corrupted, and I'm sorry, but let's get on with the show. Because I had to take a break because that yard work was killing me, even if I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I could hear it. It was like louder than me. I'm gonna use a little bit of this. This is from the Pretty Please palette. I'm gonna use that in my inner corners. I got a question that was, have you ever received any advice about YouTube that you stuck by and that has helped you? Yes, I've talked about this before. I did like a boot camp for YouTube in 2020. I invested some money that I was gonna do like use for a trip, but of course in 2020 my trip got cancelled, so I used the money for a boot camp. And one of the first things that I was told in this boot camp is people do not care about you. And this has really stuck with me when when I'm having a bad day, or when things are going south and you like can't meet deadlines, or when views are down, or when a video is crashing, or when you're trying to talk about what happened to your pet. People don't care about me. It's not that deep. They don't want to hear about that. They're gonna click out of the video if you start complaining about your views or complaining about your money. So that has really stuck by. And of course, some people that watch this, they're gonna be like, no, we care about you, we care about your well-being, we care about your career. And I get that, but this is more like a broad, most people that watch me don't watch me because they have like a deep connection and they really want me to do good on like a spiritual level. It's more of it's nice that she's here, it's a little bit of entertainment, we can get some reviews on makeup. So that is one advice that I got that really stuck with me. Obviously I'm doing Prance. What did you think was gonna happen? Obviously we're doing Prance. I've gotten asked if I think the blue liners from Oden's Eye are similar to this one. And yes, I think it is the darker of the two that is similar to this one. It's not 100% dupe, but it's definitely close enough so that if Colourpop never brings back Prance as a single without a set, I'll survive. I'm actually gonna be putting on these again. Look at this eye look. Look at that. So cool. I wore these yesterday. These are the BK Beauty and Reset's Makeup Martini half lashes. I'm actually going to be wearing these again. They were a little bit more demure half lashes, and I thought that could be fun with this pretty intense eye look. And that's going to be like the last thing that I do. Let me get some glue and a tweezer. This glue It looks like it's been through like 7 hard biblical years. Don't look too closely at this one. While I prep my lashes, I got a question. Curious on your stance on finance, savings. Do you do emergency funds, retirement funds, etc.? Right now, I just have a savings fund that is like, you know, if shit hits the fan or like stuff like that. For me, I haven't really divided my money yet, and the reason why I haven't divided the money that I saved is because I kind of want to buy a house, so I don't want to tie my money up for the long run right now. I also know, and this is me, I know that when I retire, I'm not going to want to have a big house to take care of. So me and my husband have both decided that our goal is to buy a house and to pay the house off before we retire, then sell the house and buy like a smaller apartment or something. My mom and stepdad did that, and I think it's so smart. And then just be able to like do experiences instead. So that is what we're aiming to do. I mean, you never know what happens in the future, but that is our plan right now. And we're planning to take as little loan as possible because I don't like owing people money. So right now, all we have is like, well, we do have a loan on our car because we weren't able to buy there was no cars really to buy when we came to the US, so we had to buy a new one, which is obviously fine. For me with finance, I've been young, I've been living paycheck to paycheck. I've been poor. I was working in the restaurant business for years, and there were some months where I had to sell stuff on like our equivalent to like Craigslist to be able to make rent. I had to ask my manager at my job if I was able to take some leftovers home because I couldn't afford food. So I definitely have been living a different life that I'm living now. And maybe that's also since I am aware of how it can be. I definitely am trying to not live. I'm not spending the money that I'm making. I'm spending some because like life is short. You have to spend a little. I'm definitely not frugal, but I'm also very aware of how it can be if something happens and you don't have emergency money. And I also like try to save for things in the future, like buying a house or saving money so that we can have longer, nicer vacations. Or if something happens with the pets, like listen, something happens to my pets, I am immediately just whipping out my debit card, just charge whatever you want. I do not care, and I'm happy to be in the place where I can do that. Are my lashes? Are we in a place where I can put these on? I'm gonna wait a little more. When I quit my 9 to 5 job, which was more of a 7 to 4 job, when I quit my job, I had a year of salary and savings, just in case YouTube didn't work out. And I realized that that is not possible for everyone, but that's where I was at, because I was like, if stuff doesn't work out, if YouTube doesn't end up being a career for me, because I quit my job because we were moving to the US, so I couldn't keep my job, and like this is what I'm doing now, but I wanted to make sure that I had money saved away, tucked away. But I'm very grateful I didn't have to touch that money. So that has been the beginning stages of me saving up for a house. And of course I am, my God, there's glue on my nail. Of course I'm very grateful for that. I do think it is very important if you are able to just save a little money. Even just saving $10 or $20 a month could be the difference a couple of months in the future from you being able to pay that surprise thing or not. Especially here in the US, when surprise things really can end up being an emergency for your family. I mean, if something like that happened to me in Sweden, like, I would never go bankrupt in Sweden because of like medical bills or something like that. But it's totally different here. Of course, if something big happened to me medically, I'd just move back to Sweden. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that deep. But I do think it's good to have savings. And I definitely think me being older and also me being in the position where I quite honestly had a really hard time being able to pay all my bills has given me perspective of why it's important to not spend all the money that comes in, because you really do not know what's happening tomorrow. Not me making a DoorDash order so that I can have a little snackety snack before preparing your order. Woo! Before I head to this party. Let me see if there's one more question. I really like this makeup look. My skin is looking flawless. My eye makeup is looking beautiful. I love this look. The lashes, you can see they're a little bit more on the demure side. I think I'm really going to be enjoying these. Let me see if there's like one more question that I can answer before I head to my live that I had with my members. Well, I had a Zoom call with my members. If you're part of my members, I have a Zoom call for tier 2 and tier 3 every month, and I also have member exclusive tutorials where you can get more fun, colorful looks if you're interested. That button is next to the subscription button where you can read up more about that if you're interested. But that happened last week, and then of course we're having another one soon. Okay, these were really interesting questions, because I think a lot of people that start out YouTube feel like, does it ever get easier? And this is, do you make less mistakes filming when you get more comfortable with filming, and does editing get easier with more experience? Yes, yes, yes. Oh my, definitely. The first video I edited took me 2 million trillion years, and now editing is so quick and so easy, and the more I do it, the more I enjoy it. And with filming, I actually don't have to cut out that much when I'm editing. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but it definitely gets easier with time. And I also, with time, you realize what makes filming easier. Can you prepare bullet points? Just pulling out your makeup and having it here in front of you when you start filming. All of these planning steps, and when you're starting to think of the video in your head, already in that process, I'm saving down pictures to my computer in folders, knowing that, oh, I'm gonna want to show this picture, I'm gonna want to show this picture, and like filming B-roll in advance. And it definitely gets easier with time. So if you're ever wanting to start YouTube, or if you started and you feel like it's so overwhelming, just know that it does get easier with practice, as with everything else in the world. Okay, I think my doggo is here and ready to go on a pee walk. Did you just wake up? Did you just wake up? Oh, you ready to go out and pee? Oh, your lip gloss smells so nice, babe. Oh, this is what I said. It smelled like fruits, and now she's like, let me have some of that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Don't forget to check the description box for more info. Yes. And I will see you again either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow for some more videos. Bye!